Yo, what's up, guys? It's me, the Big Croak, here with our first official video. I say official video knowing that I did have videos in the past. I was just messing around with some new streaming devices that I got. This one I definitely want to consider as the first official, as this is going to be my return to draft leagues, specifically Pokemon draft leagues, if you couldn't tell. If you don't know what a draft league is basically just like any sporting event. You got your players and your teams, and each team picks certain players. No other person or team could have that player unless that team were to drop him or trade him for another person. With that said, there was a draft order, and the draft order we did was snake. So it's first person, last person back up. You're very lucky if you get first or last place, in my opinion. Decent if you got caught up in the middle placements. I got lucky. I was second place in this snake draft. The draft challenge is the draft league challenge, the DLC season 3.5. It is an off season. This is Goose's child, his brainchild. He loves this league. I've played 2 leagues in the past. I've done season 2 and season 2.5. They were Crown Tundra exclusive and then Isle of Armor exclusive tournaments. I've made playoffs in both of those. Took a break from season 3 to focus on our academy, and yeah, brought back to season 3.5. Really excited for this season. As I said before, the past they were exclusive to CT or IOA. However, this one they decided to open up to national decks, which is just phenomenal. I'm really excited. There's going to be a lot of old faces, new faces that I'm going to be melding together. Really love to see their synergy. So let's get started. My team is the New Jersey Toxicroaks. I am one of 16 teams in this division. There's 2 separate divisions, the Minors League and the Majors League. I somehow made it into the Majors League, but I'm excited. I'm really going to test my mettle, see how well I can fare against a lot of the elite players that we have in our group of SSBG, as well as the PTG guys that are joining us for this competition. So yeah, I'm one of 16. I've got the second place in the draft order. So with that, my team is consisting of 11 Pokemon. We got to pick 11 Pokemon. 7 were free from tier 1 through tier 5. We got 2 tier 3 Pokemon and 1 Mega Pokemon. Each Pokemon was ranked between tier 1 and tier 5, and each Mega was ranked from between tier 1 and tier 4. After we picked our free Mons, our 7 free Mons, we got 4 other Pokemons to buy. We got 400 points to buy X amount of Pokemon from any amount of tier, or from any tier. Granted, we have enough points for them. So it really mattered how you drafted, what order you drafted in, and how best to utilize all of those points. Each tier was ranked from highest to lowest, 180 points down to 160, 120, 100, 60, 40. And then from the tiers, from the Megas, if you picked a higher tier or low tier, you got some points back, and they were ranked 40, 60, 80 to 120. Granted, if you pick up the lowest tier, you get the most points. So yeah, my first pick was a lot of pressure, because being in the top 5 before you pick, you really got it really matters who you snag first, because I have to wait 14 people to pick 2 other Pokemon before it finally comes back to me for my 2 picks. So I really felt a lot of pressure. I usually prefer to be in the middle of drafts because I like to have my ideas set in stone, where I know certain people aren't going to steal certain things. But this one I wanted to draft a bit of some higher Mons. And so for my first pick, I got myself Glidecore. Glidecore is one of the best utility Pokemon I've ever had. I've ever had the pleasure of playing with. I've been playing since Gen 1, so I know how this guy functions. I've seen his growth. And it's Nat Dex, and now I get to fix it with, some really nice Mons I've gotten used to in Gen 8. I've got really good hazard setter with this guy, status guy with him, immune to paralyze and poison, because I got that toxic heal, the poison heal. Really, really good defogger. And he's also really good offensive pressure. His attack stat and speed stat aren't nothing to laugh at. They're 95, which is actually pretty good. He does get sword stance. He does have stone edge, so he's definitely hitting a lot of his soft checks and water checks, and the ice types are not going to like a stone edge, especially after rocks damage. And he's also really bulky. I can stall out people if I really wanted to with Roost, Toxic stalling anyone. So I thought that first pick was actually really, really good because I can do a lot of offensive or defensive play styles with him. Moving on to number 2, Glidecore is a tier 2, by the way, free tier 2. This one was my tier 3 pick. It is Fortress. I loved Fortress since Generation 2. He is a very, very reliable status or hazard setter. He's got really good pivot now with Volt Switch. I didn't even know that he got Volt Switch, but he's got Toxic, he's got Spikes, he's got Stealth Rocks, he's got Toxic Spikes. So there's a plethora of hazards that I can really bring and utilize dependent on the matchup for my week. And I've got a lot really reliable hazard removal. Granted, no one's bringing any ghost types. I've got Rapid Spin. And I'm not sure if I read it right, but I really think I got Sticky Web, so that's probably another good thing. If he does got that, it's another really good speed control variant right there. So yeah, I was really excited to grab him. It was my free tier 3. So I got so far 2 free ones before I started picking. I decided to start buying early. My next buy of 40 points was tier 5 Rapidash. I did want to grab Heatran. It wasn't really a big priority to grab Heatran as a tier 1, but I really did want to get something that would cover, any grass types or like Fortress if I had it. So I decided to grab Flash Fire Rapidash. It's, in my opinion, a lot better than Arcanine. It's just faster. I mean, both of them have their unique skill sets. They both have access to Morning Sun, so they can both be bulky. I think Arcanine has a bit higher defenses. I'm not too sure entirely. But, I just feel like the speed control I would have with, Fortress and Glidecore, I definitely want to keep something in the middle around there. So I definitely can use him a lot more. I've got Poison Jab. I've got a lot of offensive attacks I can use in Mega Horn and Stomping Tantrum. Especially Stomping Tantrum because it's not affected by grassy terrain. So I'm really, it is affected. It's high horsepower that I get as well. So that's not affected by grassy terrain, so I'm really excited to use him. Definitely have a lot of speed control with him. Definitely a lot of versatile offensive threatening moves with him. So I'm really stoked to have grabbed Rapidash and see what I can do with her. Next, I decided to grab a tier 1 finally. It was free as Cresselia. Cresselia is just an incredible, just tanky mon. I mean, its defenses are just phenomenal. It's got access to Trick Room if I wanted to be any faster than anyone. It's got Moonlight. I've got Lunar Dance if I needed to bring any of my offensive threats back from the grave. Not entirely back from the grave, but just, back to full health, full power points, everything, ready to go. I can definitely tank a lot of hits. I can definitely be bulk offense and just, give a lot of heavy hits back thanks to Calm Mind and Moonlight. I've got the ground immunity, so, anything that's going to try and soft check, Rapidash as a ground type, I've got Glidecore and Levitate Cresselia, so that's another really good thing. I'm really excited I grabbed her. I really don't think she should have stayed till like the 4th round. I thought that would have been like a 1st round pick, but I'm really glad I got this one. For number 5, I grabbed Stockataka. So I thought Cresselia, I thought I had some pretty good speed control. Cresselia is not too slow, not too fast, pretty in the middle. And I thought, okay, if I can utilize Trick Room, then maybe I can do something good with Trick Room. So I decided to get Stockataka, and Stockataka's just got incredible defenses. He's got that really low speed, so he's definitely going first. If I were to use Trick Room, I've got Gyro Ball, so I'm guaranteed heavy damage on almost anything that isn't, in the speed tier range of like 50 or lower base points. It's still going to do a lot, but it's not going to do as much as I would like it to do versus someone like Zero or something like that. Especially like Spectre. Spectre is in this league. It's not banned, so that's going to be something that is just, in the back of my head. If I need to have even more speed control, I definitely have Trick Room options for that. They both get it. Stockataka, again, you can EV train it. Its Beast Boost can be literally anything I wanted it to be in defense, special defense, or attack. So any offensive or bulky threat, something unseen from Stockataka is definitely an option. For number 6, I bought Tier 1 Primarina. I did buy Stockataka. He was Tier 2. He was 120 points, and this for 180 points is Primarina Tier 1. I wanted something else, some water coverage finally. I definitely wanted to get a fairy in there. Primarina is a very reliable Pokemon, especially with its special defense core. It's got Draining Kiss, Calm Mind as well. Same things I can do as Cresselia, except I can do damage and recover, so that's another offensive threat that I like to have in the back pocket. It's not too fast, but definitely, it definitely hits really hard. I can get off some burns. I wanted Tapu Fini, but then I thought to myself, Glidecore with Poison Heal, and I want to try and get some Toxics off with anyone. I'm going to need, or some Scald, I'm going to need to not have Misty Surge, and that, I think it was just a defining point, because somebody actually did pick up Fini, and they slept on Primarina until 6th round, so I'm really glad I got to buy her. She definitely fits in really well with, Trick Room ideas and bulky offense, and just tanking kind of hits for the team for the checks and counters. So I'm really glad I got her. There's a lot of useful things I can do with her. For number 7, I got Tier 3 Shaymin for free. We were talking about him before. I did want to get Superior or Roserade, more so Roserade, because I really do love Roserade. That poison typing was something I wanted for my Fairy Poison Steel core. I also wanted to round off with Grass with the Fire Water Grass core, and Roserade is a very, very good hazard setter with the Sleep Powder. She's got really great defense and special defense, special attack, and speed. And ended up getting picked just before me, so I really, had no idea what I wanted to do. Superior had gotten picked 2 rounds before, so somebody had brought up Shaymin. We were talking about it for a little bit. Everyone was talking about some threats, and I decided to look at it. And we were talking about it 2 rounds beforehand, and I figured, what, I have to jump on it. Base 100 stats all across the board is really good for me, because I do like to tinker around with calcs, and especially speed calcs and defense calcs, because I really do like to come out of nowhere and try to take hits and surprise people with thinking that they've got a clean sweep or a clean KO, and then I'm either faster or I'm taking a hit and dealing some damage right back. And possibly getting the KO. So something like this is very malleable, and I really, really, really wanted, to cover off that core. So I'm thinking, we've got Hidden Power, we've got this. He definitely hits hard, so let's try this out. For number 8, my other Tier 3, I was super, super, super excited to get this guy. Ambi Palm is one of my favorite Pokemon from the past. He is the OG Cincino. He's got the skill link with the tail slap and the rock blast, so he's definitely hitting hard with that with choice band. He's fast with 115 base speed, but the other thing is he's got Technician. He's one of the heaviest Technician hitters in the game. He's definitely really, really fast. I mean, he's just like Scyther, except with more. I don't know if he gets more bulk than Scizor, but he's got Pursuit. He's got Fake Out with priority if anyone's faster. He's got U-turn for pivot control, and he's got locate. He's got a lot of things that he can do. Technician boosted, it's going to be dealing a lot of damage, especially if people don't resist it. Anyone without really good defense, or physical defense rather, is going to take a huge hit. Anyone trying to switch out, it's going to take a massive chunk from double boosted pursuits. So it is, to me, the poor man's Lopunny. Mega Lopunny was picked, and it is, functions the same way. Definitely functions like faster, hits harder. So this is just something that I felt could deal with a lot of pivot control, a lot of chip control damage, forcing people and pressuring them to either take a hit, and if I'm lucky enough to get hazards, swap back in if they're risking, taking any hazard removal damage and fake out damage before I U-turn out for even bigger chip damage. So he's just really, really good, really hits hard, hits fast, and you kind of just have to like stop him in his tracks before anything gets out of hand with him. You know, you can't monkey around with this guy. For number 9, my last free tier 5 pick, it was Steelix. Another thing with the the Trick Room idea, I know I have like heavy steel types. I'm really torn between if I should keep Steelix or keep Stockataka. I definitely think might keep Stockataka and see what other tier 5 I can get from Steelix. But he is a really good Pokemon. He's a good hazard setter. He's got very useful offensive attacks, and he's got the elemental bites. He's got Crunch. He definitely has Dragon Tail. He's got Aqua Tail, I think. He's just got really good coverage on all ends with it's Toxic as well. Just really, really good defensively. Not as good special defensively, obviously, as Stockataka. Or hits as hard, but he does have Sheer Force, which I think puts him in the runnings with Stockataka, just minus the Beast Boost. But I definitely like, having him around, and he is also going to be just as fast as Stockataka in Trick Room, so you're not going to want to be taking, a lot of hits on the matchup. If I have a matchup move or a type advantage move on him, you're not going to want to take a Sheer Force hit from that. So I thought that was really good. But it might not keep him, might swap him out. I'm not sure yet. He's still got to figure out what's going on after week 1. For my 10th pick, I finally decided to get a Mega, and I went with Meganette. I really do like that I have this middling speed tier. Again, if I decide to get rid of Steelix, I can get something faster and definitely have, low, high, and mid speeds for any situations. I do like to have it that way. I do love my priority, and Meganette has priority within Prankster. I do like to get my statuses up. So Prankster, he's got Taunt, Thunderwave, Toxic, Will-O-Wisp. I've got, some shenanigans with some other of his supporting moves I don't want to mention just yet, but our Prankster activated. Other moves, you got classic Destiny, Prankster Destiny Bond, Mega Sableye, pressuring people to either take him out, try to switch out into something else. You really don't want to lose your offensive threats super early in the game, and that, with Meganette, I can do a lot with it. I can lead with it. I can kind of bring him in late. I can swap in on certain attacks, and then really pressure them to either switch out, get myself a free turn of whatever I need to do, get my momentum back. And Meganette definitely does that, and he definitely, with the 165 base attack power, he just hits incredibly hard with anything that's not resisting Ghost. The other classic Meganette set always runs, like Gunk Shot as well. The accuracy is a bit iffy, but if you're not resisting that and you're a Fairy type taking 165 base power, Gunk Shot, you're not in for a good time. So both of those really, really good moves, especially I should mention with Shadow Claw being his strongest attack. The high critical hit chance ratio is just incredible threatening pressure as well. So I really loved that I got this guy. I got 120 points back from him. I did the math wrong. I thought I had enough at the end of the day to buy another tier 1 Pokemon, but I ended up having 160, so I was 20 points short. So my last and final pick was Entei. Entei for tier 2 at 120 points, I think, was just a phenomenal pick. He's got pretty good speed with 100 speed. He's got really good HP, solid attack, solid special attack, surprisingly. And I could run a mixed attacker if I wanted to. That is a bit unheard of. That's understandable. But, Draft League, a lot of niche ideas really fall into place if you can play them properly. A lot of random strat ideas and strategies can make or break games. There's a lot of cheese that can take place and happen. So I wouldn't put it past myself to either make a mixed or full special attacking Entei. Aside from that, though, his Choice Banded set is really big offensive power and pressure. He's got inner focus and pressure, so I can PP stall people if I really wanted to. He's got his signature move, Sacred Fire, which is a physical attack put that with a choice band, you're not having a good day. And 50% chance to burn my opponents or any offensive threats. I think they're going to come in like Swampert or somebody and, take a hit. Their physical offense is being cut way, way down, and they don't have guts or anything like that. So nothing is really going to affect entei too much after that, especially, if I'm carrying Crunch, Stone Edge. Stone Edge is one of the best, despite its accuracy, attacks a fire Pokemon can get to hit their water soft checks or hard checks, and ground types. Any ground types or you can get that, just like Glidecore. A lot of those Pokemon are not going to enjoy a Stone Edge to the face. So, really glad I got him. He does seem like I can do a lot of work with it. I do love its move pool. I do love his attacks, attack stats, and everything. So I'm excited to see how this season goes. I know a couple, my team doesn't look too synergized, but when you really look at them and you really take into account who has what priority, what speed tiers they are, and how they can all function, you can actually really make a lot of advances in synergy with them. So I'm really excited to see how they go. Might make a couple changes between here and there, between now and week 12, but so far, week 1 about to start against the Portland Dugongs. That's Stephen Vaughn. He's one of the coaches in the academy that we run. If you guys want to check us out, you can check us out at Squirtle Squad Battle Group on Facebook. I'll leave the link down below. And if you guys are interested in learning, competitive Pokemon, meta, and stuff like that, if you do join up with the Squirtle Squad Battle Group, definitely ask whoever lets you in, or just ask around in general for the Froakie Academy. That's my academy. We run it with a bunch of coaches to help people out, new or old, just wanting to brush up on skills, anything like that. So definitely hit us up there. All right, so week 1, New Jersey Toxicroaks versus the Portland Dugongs. I'll be doing a video of the results after that and my thought process after making or during the team building and after the match with the replay. So I hope to catch you guys there. See ya.